Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 25 of Collecting Justified here on the Just Justin Collects YouTube channel. You might be watching this over on Kenny's YouTube, Encountered Culture, or his X, or now his Twitch. Apparently, you just put in the chat. So thank you for that, Kenny. If you're watching here live or on the replay, wherever you're watching, just make sure you come over to the Just Justin Collects YouTube channel. Hit that like button on the video. Make sure you are subscribed, and you can even become justified if you want. Here on this channel, we're here every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time for our Collecting Justified podcast, live stream, whatever. It's a live stream. Some people say podcast. I don't know. It's video, so I hesitate to say podcast. Anyway, I'm yapping, but we're here consistently, so come hang out if you're watching on the replay. But, guys, I know I'm late. I have my excuses, but it's okay. You can see my background's a little different back behind me. I've been working on this room. It is a absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. Let me see if I can get my wonderful co-hosts in here with me. And then we'll say hi to the chat after we do the housekeeping, all that stuff. We've got some fun segments today for you guys, and a very interesting topic. Something I'm looking forward to talk about. So let's see here. Let's get Mr. Punctual in here first. Don't want to leave him waiting. Let's get Mr. David Evan Smith in here.
Whoa! Hey, what up?
Hey, David, how's it going, man?
All right, I was in but I couldn't hear you in the green room. So then I went out. Then I'm back in. So just going in and out all night.
In and out all night. That's how we do, David. That's how we do, man. So, but you can hear me good right now. My mic's working, right? Mic check.
Yeah.
Mic check. Okay.
You good?
Okay.
You good? You doing
awesome.
all right?
I'm good. Yeah, I was struggling to get. No sleep. A couple hours. We have to be up every 2 hours. With the baby. Yeah, until we get him back up to birth weight. He's getting there, but this early on, you got to feed him every 2 to 3 hours, and he is waking up every 2 hours. And we're in it, teamwork. I'm getting up with her, so
So I didn't know this. So babies are born at a certain weight, and then after birth they lose that, they go down from that weight. I guess because they're not connected to the umbilical cord anymore, so they're not getting the constant nourishment.
It's something weird. It's he was born at 7 pounds 4 ounces, and he was 6 something when we left the hospital, and he's right back almost. We had a weight check the other day. He's almost back at 7 pounds. So he's getting there. He's getting there. Little guy's getting there. I swear he's growing every day. It's like a weed. But I'm telling you, my 4-year-old looks huge now compared to this new one. Looks ginormous. I swear he grew a foot over the past week. But David, they're not here. Everybody's not here to hear about my personal life, right? He's not even in here with me right now. So we can be as loud as we want, Dave. Not really, but almost as loud as we want. But David, Alexi's not going to be with us today. He's got a prior engagement. It's okay, Alexi. We miss you. We miss you, Alexi.
He's in the habit of abandoning me more than my father.
Right. Yeah, David, he just went to the store to get cigarettes, milk, and lottery tickets. Okay. He'll be right back in about
15 years.
6 to 12 years. It's okay. It's okay. Whenever child support isn't on the table. So, but you know who is here? He had some trouble last week. He might have almost been abducted, but he's fine. He's back with us. Let's welcome in counterculture Kenny.
Hey,
David, I'm like the stepdaddy you never had. You know what I mean? So
do you want me to call you stepdaddy? I mean, there's a bit of that in my search history, but
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, no. David said daddy a lot, but never stepdaddy. That's new territory.
It's a different level.
Try new things. I'm open to new things. So
there you go.
But Kenny, your background is well lit this week, my friend.
Look at the difference that power makes, right? Who knew that having electricity was a positive thing? I think everybody.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Well,
And
glad you're not in a van down by the river.
Same.
By the
Same.
river. Yeah, we're happy you're with us here, Kenny, being the stepdaddy that we all need since Alexi left. It's okay. He went and got hit. He went and got engaged, and now he's too cool for school.
He's got like life situations or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now we miss you, Alexi. But you know who is here with us? He's under the weather. I don't know how long he's going to stick around, but everyone welcome Mr. Basement Dweller himself, Andrew. How's it going, Andrew?
It's all right.
All right.
Not too bad.
Got
at the moment.
You got the flu going around, all that good stuff.
I think it's sinuses.
Man, there's
got stuffy nose, sinus headache, all that fun. But feeling better for the moment.
Good. Before I forget, I meant to text you earlier today. I've still got your soldering iron. I'm done with it. If you need to come get it. The project did not work, by the way. Did not work.
You trying to solder together some new cuppies for the Justified?
Is this
no.
like a Terminator cuppy? Like, what do you need solder?
If anyone's interested, so before we get into all the toy talk, let's. This is a very transparent show. We're very real. We're down to earth. You're here for us and toy news, right? Us and then toys. Toys. Yeah. So being we have a new baby, we got all the baby stuff out from our previous baby, and we have a bouncer. It's like a little seat, and you turn it on, and it plays music, and it bounces the baby like very gently, and they love it. Our 4-year-old loved it. This new baby, he loves it, but it stopped working. I changed out the batteries. It still wasn't working. I was like, well, let me figure out if there's anything I learned from my dad and our grandpa, it was how to, just tear stuff apart and try to get it to work. Sometimes you fix it. Sometimes you can't. There was a wire that came loose. So I hit Andrew up because I didn't have a soldering iron or anything. He brought it over, and there I am in the kitchen, trying not to set the house on fire. I've got it taken apart, it's pried apart and everything, trying to melt this the solder back on and everything. It didn't work, Andrew. The wire had like no give, so I had to get Christy to come in and hold the needle nose pliers with the wire while I held the solder down and the iron down and tried to melt it. It was a disaster. We're buying a new bouncer. So
it's worth a shot.
David looks confused. I didn't burn the house down, David. Okay. If this house,
the most heterosexual thing I've ever heard.
If this house catches a blaze, we will know why. It will be the broken ring light that's still broken, but still working, by the way. But
your priorities are right, because you're buying a bouncer instead of a ring light replacement. So at least the kid will be okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
The ring light stopped working for a second. Hold on. I gotta work it again. But gentlemen, let's get into the housekeeping. Say hello to the chat. I know some people might be in and out. We've got one of those dastardly UK fellas streaming tonight. Jay's Toy Collection UK streaming the Royal Rumble. It's about toys, Jay. Why are you streaming the Royal? Nah, it's okay. So we got people watching wrestling, people watching Jay. They'll be in and out, but we'll say hi to the chat here in a second. In and out all night, David. So let's get into this housekeeping. Of course, this is Saturday Night's Collecting Justified here on the Just Justin Collects YouTube channel. Also, you may be watching this over on the gentleman below me of his social media, Encountered Culture. Make sure you, of course, are subscribed to both YouTube channels. Come over here, say hi in the chat, say hi in Kenny's chat. Make sure you like both live streams, okay? Last week was really successful. It was, numbers are trending up. But we're here 25 weeks in a row, fellas. 25 weeks in a row. Quarter way to 100. We'll be there before we know it. But with consistency, there's success. And then that leads to, monetization, super chats, super thanks, memberships, all that good stuff. All that goes towards keeping Andrew out of the basement. You see, he's here, healthy-ish with us. He's not in the basement. So make sure, support the channel if you want to. We do greatly appreciate it here. As well as channel memberships are open. You can become a member of the Justified, there's a 2-tier system here. Justified, you see everything you get there on the screen. You can pause it if you want. And then the Justified MVP. It costs a little more, but if you want to support the channel a little more, everything funnels back into the channel, and it's not like you don't get something for it. You get, of course, the stickers, which are going out. I'm waiting to send out new stickers until I get the mini cuppies, which is at the bottom here. You see our channel mascot cuppy. Andrew does have the only full-size cuppy in existence right now. I'm in the process of making the channel member exclusive mini cuppies, which might have a built-in action feature that you don't have to reach in the cup, Andrew. I'm doing some engineering. They're going to be a little different. If you're a channel member and you have suggestions, hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up. So you can also suggest show topics. You get access to the MVP Instagram chat and priority guest appearances. So leading into that, on this channel, we thank all of our channel members at the beginning and end of each live stream, and I will go ahead and do that now. So first of all, I want to thank the Justified MVPs, the OG first channel member, Agent Z-Man 12 Bat himself. Thank you, Z-Man. Legion X, Rick, you know him, you love him, you've seen him here on the channel before. He's here every week in the chat. Thank you, Rick. Compulsive Collector. How would Alexi say it? He loves to hate to love us. I don't know. Something like that. John, he loves us.
Like that.
My best friend, John Morrissey, right there. Just Kenny, don't you start with me. Kenny, don't you start. Don't you start. You leave my friend John Morrissey alone. Okay? Okay.
Miss you, John.
Don't you talk to him. Don't you talk to him. And Mr. David Evan Smith himself. Thank you all, Justified MVPs. Your exclusive cuppies will be in the mail, whether you like it or not, John. Whether you like it or not. And let's move on to the Justified. Thank you so much, St. James, patron saint himself of toy collecting. That sneaker wall got real low, and those toys got real high real quick. We love you around here, St. James. Beautiful display, my friend, in such a short amount of time. Putting me to shame. Love the display. Dan, some guy named Dan who reviews. I guess he's okay. We love Dan around these parts, but not as much as we love everybody's favorite, Christopher Allen. Displayed once, Rich, a.k.a. Zordon, which, speaking of, I'll get to it later. I'm doing some Power Rangers rearranging. Yeah, speaking of Zordon. Kurt K., our everyone's favorite great-grandpa here of toy collecting. Jesse Hubbard, Encounter Culture, Kenny, right there, himself. Shane Shooter, Brian Merchant, Bring Toys to Work. Thank you, Michael. Darth Lopez, Frankie, Pock Photos, Kyle, Ravenous Collecting, Literally Action Figs, Chris Murphy, and the one and only Cole's Cave, legendary at this point, toy photographer. I would say he cemented his legacy already. Thank you, everybody. And of course, the last slide of the day. Oh, thank God. I couldn't remember if I updated this slide or not. I was going to find out at the end if it was last week's thumbnail, but I love to put this week's thumbnail at the end just to kind of, I don't know, stroke my own ego. But I do want to give credit where credit is due. David gave me the idea for this thumbnail this week. Thank you, David. We were chit-chatting. I was like, I don't really know what to do. He was like, and we were kind of talking about it. He was like, oh, but if you do this topic, it would be cool. The Scarlet Witch, No More Mutants picture. I was like, yeah, I will certainly take that idea, run with it, and give you no credit. But then I accidentally gave him credit just now. Damn it. Kenny, you're supposed to stop me.
Sorry.
You're supposed to stop me.
It was actually intentional. I foiled your plan because I need to give credit where credit is due,
Dang it, man. All right. So, guys, we got a fun topic here today. We've done the housekeeping. We've got a couple segments to do. But before that, I do want to go through and say hi to the chat. Everyone that's here with us. Looks like, who is this? David Evan Smith. I don't know who that is. Here bright and early. Jelly Figs. Hey, what's up, Jelly Figs? Encounter Culture dropping the lightning bolts. Chosen 112. Hey, Chosen 112. How's it going? Let's see. Rick is here. Waving. Let's see here. Oh, first live. Excited to be here. Well, thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. It's really small on my screen. Burgos 809. Am I pronouncing that right?
Burgos 809.
I want to get your name right. Yeah, Burgos. If you're here,
area code 809. The area.
Burgos, if you're here and I'm mispronouncing it, let me know in the chat so I can get it right, my friend. I want to make sure we get it right. Put some respect on his name, guys. Put some respect. Gabriel is here. Thank you for being here, Gabriel. Let's see here. Somebody's gonna have to help me out. Help me out here.
Flapuma.
Flapuma. Thank you for being here. Super Turk 5000 is here. Hello, Tanner. Tanner, I haven't gotten a message from you. I'm wondering if you've watched all the way to the end of the live stream last week, my friend. You might want to go back and catch, I don't know, the second half of that live stream if you didn't catch it. I'm just saying. I'll hit you up, Tanner. I'll hit you up. Z-Man is here dropping all the channel member emojis. Chi collects. And, oh, look, there's my best friend, John Morrissey. Happy Saturday to Justin's Jumble Friendly Fanatical Figure Fellows. Oh, I got that all right the first time, guys. I've missed you. I've missed Kenny the most. Let's see if Justin deletes this last sentence. Kenny, I told you to stop hacking John Morrissey's YouTube. Okay. I don't know if StreamYard lets you go in and like edit his comments after he posts them, but I'm getting really tired of it. Okay. Really tired. Oh, we lost David. We lost him. He's gone, guys. He's gone. Cole's Cave is here. What's up, guys? David, I was worried. I thought we were gonna have to hit that life alert button for you for a second. I was Damien is here live. What's up, Damien? Hey, good to catch up again. And again, congratulations, Justin, with a new kid on the block. Thank you, Damien. Good to see you here live again, my friend. I think you've missed the last couple lives. I know you're across the pond, so it's hard. It's late for you, but I appreciate you being here, my friend.
They're all up watching wrestling. You know,
that's it.
Apparently, like guys in the UK just love to watch dudes like wrestle around together. I don't know what that's about.
So everybody here.
Do I live in the UK?
Everybody here, don't leave. Just open another tab, go over to Jay's live stream, and just drop hashtag justified in his chat.
You could have two.
Let him know. Just to let him know.
Exactly. You could have two open and do
exactly. Exactly. Go ahead and like his stream while you're there for him. Okay. Michael Davis is here. Hello, everyone. Let's see here. Oh, Andrew, I think this is our cousin. Hey, it's Matt. I can join you next week from Matt. And how good's the Wi-Fi out there, Matt? I'm not sure. But it's good to see you here, bud. Good to see you here. Let's make sure I'm not missing anybody. John, simmer down now, David. Simmer down. Cole's not a fan of wrestling either. Chi collects. It's 1 p.m. on Sunday over here for me. Wow. Chi, is that Australian time? What time zone is that? Somebody help me out, Chi.
1 p.m. on a Sunday, yeah.
1 p.m. on a Sunday. So that's got to be Australian, right, David? Yeah. Well, appreciate you being here, Chi. It's a great time for you, right? You just throw this on, throw the headphones on, listen as you're going about your normal day. So,
Chi, what is the future like? What does Sunday have in store for us? That's kind of my question.
Who won the wrestling? Who won?
Yeah. Who won the wrestling?
Go ahead and spoil it.
Let me put a bet down now.
Oh yeah, let's.
Do they do that? Do they?
Somebody get Vegas on the line. If it's a sport or anything of the sort, it is bet on. There's gambling. So, thank you everybody for being here. So far, okay. Let's see. I'm surprised. I was kind of worried about my internet going out today. It's been a weird day, and my Wi-Fi was doing weird things earlier, but the wheels have not popped off this stream yet. So I'm not disappointed. So David, I hope you're not disappointed, but I know at some point throughout the week, you're always a little disappointed in something. So it never gets old. So it is time for David's weekly segment of Disappointing David. Let me see if I can find the video here. Where is it? Stream.
Disappointed!
This would be much more of a professional live stream if I could hotkey videos. I complain about that every week. complain about it every week.
You know, I said this earlier. It's like this is not healthy for my spirit to like need to find something to be disappointed about on a weekly basis. And I'm almost thinking of switching my reason of disappointment to Alexi abandoning us again, like after being back only for like
That's
2
valid.
weeks. I mean, shout out to Andrew though. Like you're not feeling well, but you still showed up. You and Alexi were like in a dead heat for like absences.
Yep.
And so now your attendance record's like one above Alexi now. So nice job. Thank you for
change
showing up.
Change. It could always change. It could always change. And points are always on the line every week too, guys. I kind of like not updating the points for a little while because it leaves you in the dark. You don't know where your standings are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know. Everyone's kind of neck and neck right now.
I'm a little worried, if I'm being honest.
We still don't know what the points actually get us, so I don't know. If we want
Is this
points,
like
we don't want points.
You know how like back in the day, maybe this still happens, but like jobs would have like a catalog of products you could order based on points that you've earned. Like, does Justin have a catalog that he's going to give to us at the end of the year? And like we could order some? No,
there's no catalog. There's no catalog.
It's one page.
There's no
it's one
prizes.
page and one item, and it's a cuppy. That's it.
There is nothing behind curtain 1 or 2. It's just plain curtains.
I do need some curtains.
That's a Batman Forever reference, in case anybody didn't know.
Hey, I actually hung curtains in this room finally earlier today.
There you go.
Yeah. Makes all world of difference. World of difference. Anyway, David.
Yeah.
Let us know what disappointed you this week.
Well, you know, I've been going around the stores looking for the Spider-Man retro wave to complete my retro wave, and Target after Target after Target, like it's just barren. And like, what is up with the distribution of action figures, and particularly Marvel Legends? Like every Target I go into, there's like one evergreen MCU Iron Man on the peg, and then there's like 2 Simpson figures like Homer. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much what my experience is in every Target I go to. I don't even have Walmarts, and that looks like a Walmart in the photo, but like I don't even have Walmarts that accessible to me. And then the Targets that I can get to, there are 3 Targets I can get to that carry toys, allegedly, but where are the toys? Where are the toys?
Yes. And for reference, that is a Walmart on the left and a Target on the right.
Oh,
and in my experience, that is actually pretty well stocked for our area. Honestly, that's more than normal. That is more than normal. But that Iron Man you're talking about, David, is right there, there on that Target.
it's
right,
perfect. Yeah.
I mean, those have not gotten clearanced out. I don't know how those haven't hit clearance anywhere yet.
They're just going to be on the shelf forever. I think.
Well, I mean, they're intended to be evergreen.
The evergreen.
So like, they're just gonna like let that sit there until the next evergreen thing replaces it, I guess, for the next year. But like, I just like, is it that lucrative to sell everything online now that like they don't even need to stock Target with toys anymore? Like,
could be.
Once Toys R Us went away as a thing, and Target became like the place to look for toys.
Yeah.
Like I would expect, like, and this wasn't even 2020 COVID. There was more toys on the pegs.
Oh yeah.
Than there are right now.
Well,
don't you remember? I mean, that was like the era of like the Black Widow movie wave, and like, I mean, I just remember going and seeing like entire. Well, maybe because nobody was like going out shopping for toys. They were all still sitting on the pegs. Maybe that was why. But like, it's just such a crazy, dwindled down, desperate, tumbleweed, like empty situation. It's depressing. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
I have to say.
It is. It is. What were you going to say, Kenny?
No, I was going to say like the idea of Toys R Us, right, was a sole store dedicated to toys, right? So the idea of removing that from the equation, you know, I think that's a topic for a different day, but you know, like stores like Target and Walmart just don't have the bandwidth that Toys R Us had for toys, right? And that probably removed a lot from the entire toy equation, right? You know, I don't know.
Well,
Again, topic for a different day, but it's something to think about, right? You know?
yeah, I can't imagine a full scale Toys R Us anymore, like existing in today's like world.
Yeah.
Because like if this is what is out there for people to buy on toy shelves, like I mean, I think there used to be like a NECA aisle, like a collector
At Target,
level
yeah.
aisle in Toys R Us, and then
Totally.
aisles of bikes and board games, like there was a video game aisle in Toys R Us. Like,
yeah,
I can't remember the last year that Toys R Us was operating like with stores. 2018, maybe 2017.
2017 sounds about right.
Maybe.
Yeah. It took ours forever to close down, really.
Well,
like they did that slow death of clearancing out everything.
Were they closing during the Infinity War? Because like there was wasn't there like the Scarlet Witch Vision 2-pack on the shelves like around the era where that company was shutting stores down?
Because they were closing. They closed basically almost right before I got back into really collecting, which is kind of painful that I missed out on all that clearance stuff. So that's a thing. That's a thing. But yeah, man, it's like this everywhere.
Are there? I don't really subscribe to like YouTube toy hunt videos, but like, are they ever like amazing? Like where you like the toy hunt video that like the guy walks into the aisle and there's this, and oh wow, they have the whole line of this. Like is there that anymore, or is it just a bunch of guys walking through an aisle, like a 40-year-old men walking through a toy aisle and seeing nothing, empty pegs and be like, nothing again?
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
the latter. Not like, oh my god, there's so much. Oh, this is a wonderland of toys and action figures. I've never seen some. No, I don't see that being
the best toy hunt videos are the guys that go to like
local
a lot of Ross,
and
like some Ollie's and stuff like that. All the discount stores where they find good finds for really good prices. That's what it's kind of went to. I know like Art G does a lot of really good toy hunt videos. He has a lot of discount stores around him though, and he finds some good stuff. But as far as like Walmart, Target, and stuff like that, it's few and far between, man. And
so is this? So I guess I want to get you guys' opinion. Like, is this toy aisle a result of Hasbro producing less, or Target ordering less, or the entire market like making less product, or like what do we think? Why? Like
I'd say it's a percentage of each.
Yeah.
If like on a pie chart, it's probably like split evenly across the board.
Yeah. Combination of things for sure. But like so where I live, like just outside of DC, right? There are, I don't know, 8 Targets. So my address is
okay.
And the combination to your wall safe?
Yeah. That is 4. No. But there are like 8 Targets within driving distance of me, right? So I like in my area, I'm lucky in that regard, but it's knowing which one to go to, right? There's one Walmart. So, and I honestly, like, if I can avoid Walmart, I avoid it like the plague. You know, like I just something about the lighting in Walmart and the people, I just do not want to go there. I don't know. If I can avoid it, I absolutely will.
Unless you're feeling bad about yourself, take a trip to Walmart.
Unfortunately, some Superman figures are gold label to Walmart, so you know I gotta get in there every once in a while. But yeah, so some of them are stocked decently, but I would say 7 of the 8 look like this, right? But you never know which one it is. So even the distribution in this area is, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And when you put that to like the entire country, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get it's probably based off of past sales, right? Like they have to, each store has to understand what they need to stock and when they need to stock or whatever. But it's, as a collector, that's so frustrating. Like you just don't know when to go, where to go. And it takes the excitement out of the hunt. You know, think about years ago, you knew like you could go to Toys R Us or KB Toy. I mean, even years and years ago, go to like KB Toys, but you just, there's not, it's frustrating as a collector, right? Like you just don't know. If I drive to 3 different Targets, I get nothing. So I've wasted all that time.
And gas.
And gas and yeah. So
I mean, like to your point, like I have 3 Targets near me. I know that there's the one is Queen's Place shopping center, and that one will usually be the most barren. Then there's Skyview Mall, and that will maybe have Legends on the pegs, but the collector aisle where like NECA and all that is usually dead. And then there's College Point shopping center, which I have to take a bus, a dreaded bus. Anyone who has ever met me knows I hate the bus, but to get to that one, I need to go from the Skyview Mall that I get to by train and get on a bus and then go like 20-30 minutes on a bus to there and then wait in the cold at the bus stop to come back to get on a subway. But that one is usually the most, because you have to drive, anybody would have to drive there. That one's usually the most stocked from both angles of like Legends and the collector aisle. So like that's usually where I found like the Jada Street Fighter figures. Like I know I can go there and usually I'll find something. But and then if it's worse, like I crash harder if I go there and there's nothing. Because now I've like taken a damn bus. You know? Like, it's just, it ruins my whole day, my whole week, my whole life.
Even it's the spots for items on the shelves vary from store to store. There's so there's technically 3 Walmarts close-ish to me. 2 of the 3 don't have a spot for G.I. Joe anymore.
Ooh.
One of them doesn't have a spot for McFarlane DC anymore.
What?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Andrew, what have you seen in your ventures out to probably the exact same stores?
I mean, usually it's all the same stuff. Like you go to Target, it's always the same thing. Go to Walmart, same thing or empty. So I mean, there's just nothing good. You go to Ollie's, it's always the same stuff that's never selling.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. Like we go there, like how frequently do we all go hoping that that'll be the day that you find something of the pegs that you're looking for? But it's indicative of like, we do want to go and spend money on toys, but yet there are no toys there to buy. You know, so like, so what, you know, like sometimes you get your consolation toy, like something that you settled for buying just so that you get something. Like that will be my like Jurassic Park. Like I'll find a new dinosaur that I don't have in my Savage Lands.
That's how you get in trouble.
How many times have you gone to Target? You're like, well, I didn't find what I was looking for, but that's there. So okay, well,
I don't want to make it a wasted trip. So like you talk yourself, you justify spending your money on spending your money on just whatever. And so like Legends, you could have had my money if they had peg stuff on the pegs. Like where are the toys? Where are the toys?
And
all right,
everyone in the chat saying the same thing. Michael Davis, my area sucks. Compulsive collector says he just doesn't even visit big box anymore. More than twice a year, but largely empty toy aisles. January into February have been normally pretty much my Legion X says he bought the X-Men 97 off the shelf at Target. This Target gets stuff more than Walmart, but it seems like when Target gets it, they get a shipment and it's gone. And then it will never touch that shelf again.
Exactly. Like that. seems to be a big thing with Target, right? Like the item will hit, you'll see it on the app, right?
Mhm.
And then by the time you get there, it's gone. Even if you try to pre-order it, like they have such limited stock, they'll cancel your online order, right? I had that was my issue with Warbird, aside from the several issues with that figure, but pre-ordering it,
I mean,
yeah.
well, I've gone off on previous streams about Target's pre-order system. Like, they for me, they charge your card, hold the money,
Yeah.
release it 3 days later, charge you again 3 days later, release it 3 days after that for the entire duration. If it's like a 6-month
David,
pre-order,
that's
like,
get a
super
Target
annoying.
Red card, David. Target Red card.
No,
Get it.
no. Because is that why I'm getting it? To avoid them doing
It's
this
free.
ass backwards process
It's-
with pre-orders?
It's free. You get 5% off of everything and free shipping on everything. With no, you don't have to meet a $35 threshold. You can buy one figure, free shipping, 5% off. It's worth it, David. It's just it's not a credit card. It's tied to your bank account. There's no fees, no nothing. I promise you it's worth it.
I'll consider it, even though you're like a shill for Target now. But
I promise you.
Sponsored by Target.
Their pickup order system. So like each Target does their own thing as far as stocking their shelves. Like sometimes they'll wait until the set date, and that's not even factoring in like if there's a street date on the item, and sometimes people put stuff out before the street date and then you get blocked at the register and they take it from you and don't let you buy it. But then I went on the Target app this morning, and there was some of the figures that I was missing from the Spider-Man Retro Wave were available for pickup at Skyview. So I selected the Agent Venom and the Chameleon for pickup at Skyview, and then you have to wait like 2 hours for them to pick it and bag it and send you the thing. Oh, it's ready for pickup. So got that email, went over there, and when you are on the app, it'll tell you there's 5 left in this store,
Yeah.
And so before I go to the pickup, I go to the aisle, and there's not one Agent Venom out on the pegs.
Yeah.
So it's so is that sitting in a box
Most likely
in the stock room that they're just picking from that? But then why not put it out on the shelf? It doesn't it's good for me in that I'm able to do the pickup and they're not shopping the shelves while they're supposed to be picking my order. You know what I mean? It's good for me in that way. But if I was just walking in off the street and they don't have it there on the pegs, and I scan the little tablet and it says there's none in the back, but I can go on the app and say I can pick it up here. What's the disconnect? It's just very roundabout. It's very all over the place.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone's agreeing in the chat. John Morrissey's saying, thinks brick and mortar stores are folding left and right. Chi Collect says, online shopping for collectibles is usually a must for us down here. The markup is killer. 25 to 30 USD is usually the price for Marvel Legends.
Oh, in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Michael Davis says, small local stores have popped up. Now have 5 small independent toy stores. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we have me and Andrew have a new toy store, new-ish. It's in its second year. Andrew Cosmos has been right down the road. Awesome. Art G is here, and he says, he's always out there hunting. We were just talking about you, Art, hitting those discount stores. Carboy is here. Hello, Justin. Do you have any Sonic Generations figures? I have a couple Sonic figures. Not Sonic Generations. I have a couple of the Sonic 3 figures and some other random Sonic. Not a lot, just kind of some video game representation. Thank you for being here, Carboy. So, guys, let's move on from David's disappointment. David, thank you for the segment. It's always fun. And of course, we have to, play it again.
Disappointed!
Thanks.
Thank you, David. So, moving on. Andrew, you're here. You're sick, but you're here. Let's move on to Andrew's segment here, Star Wars fact of the day. And the whole shtick for Andrew's segment is Anakin may lie, but Andrew will never lie to you.
No one can kill a Jedi.
Love it.
I could watch Jedi
Liar.
all day.
So, Andrew, what do you have for us today, my friend?
So there was a cast member, or no, maybe not a cast member, a crew member, you can call them, that was actually spotted in The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4, dubbed as the jeans guy. He's back there in the back. You can see his arm, his jeans, his shoe.
White sneakers.
Right there about the 1854 mark in the episode. But yeah, since it's digital now, Disney went back and removed him from the series. So he's no longer there. He's still canon. I don't care what anybody says.
Ooh. Will we get a Black Series figure? Jeans guy?
Wow.
That would be awesome. Just like half a person, half a figure. I think they can be arranged, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Custom, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
I
do
think
that.
so. Like a little or an accessory with a figure, you know?
Mhm.
Andrew, when you get your nice Star Wars display set up, I expect a jeans guy back there in the back of the display, just kind of half hidden. Okay?
All right.
Not
Maybe I
crazy.
can kit bash something.
There we go.
I have to figure out what to use.
Thank you, Andrew. Always with the little Star Wars nuggets.
You think that they could do a spin-off of this character? Like maybe, like would
I would
it
like
do
that.
better than
Yeah.
what was the Acolyte? Would it do better than the Acolyte?
Like
The
Star Wars, the
Acolyte was
jeans
trash,
guy.
so yes.
And then like it starts off with like in a galaxy far away, there was a guy who purchased a pair of Levi's, and it it just keeps going. Yeah, I mean that could be a thing. It should be a thing.
Well, remind you, educate me, Andrew. Is Star Wars set in a long time ago, like in the past, but in space?
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
So this is like BC era, right?
They might be
before
vintage.
Jesus
jeans.
and before jeans.
Oh, they're pre.
I don't know.
Mm,
They never
Time
specify.
travel. Time travel.
Or are the reasons that we have jeans on Earth right now is because that man walked so that we could run.
Oh,
That
shit.
could be it.
That's good. I like it.
You know?
That's good.
So that could be the whole origin story of denim. Like, I'm like mind blown.
Are they
man.
on? Where
They're
are
even,
they?
like,
Are they on
high or drunk
Tatooine
or anything.
right now?
No, they're
or-
on a like a cruiser ship.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I would
So-
like.
so
I would
he-
hope
he
that
was
they
a
were headed
stowaway.
towards a planet called like Denim Min or something. Just like a made up galaxy or planet
We
or
are
something.
just writing this
Anime.
all for the Star Wars people.
It's out there.
We
Folks.
will sue. We
At
will
Disney,
sue.
we will sue you. Yes, we have. We obviously have a competent legal team here right now. Yeah,
Exactly.
so be
Exactly.
wary,
Thank you.
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Thank you, Andrew. And John Morrissey says, Andrew, yeah, we'll most likely get Jeans Guy. Marvel Legends made Cannonball. They sold us half a figure. Yep, that is
Facts.
very true, John Morrissey.
Facts.
Very true.
There you go.
That's a
But,
true
Jim-
and the hood. So
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. Yeah.
There's
Oh, the
room.
hood would be a perfect Jeans Guy back there. Is he wearing?
green.
What- what-
Well, they're
Ah,
green.
man.
So you could paint them
You could paint.
blue.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what what
there are
figure
plenty
is
of
wearing
Logan
jeans?
figures wearing jeans. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, just buy the Spawn Toddy Mac 2-pack and put Toddy
Yeah.
Mac back there.
Oh, we could have a McFarlane denim jean guy.
yeah.
Jean guy.
Exactly. It's all coming together. It's all
Yep.
coming together, guys. We
See,
can't go a
guys,
stream without talking about McFarlane. John would be severely disappointed. So, guys, before we get to our main topic, does anybody have any pickups you're excited to show off? Or
Yeah, I got
Sure.
a couple. Yeah.
Got one.
I'm not necessarily empty-handed. Hold on, let me. So I got feet. Speaking of that Toddy Mac 2-pack, I got feet. Savage Crucible.
You're just a feet.
Their Wave 1. with the toe joints, they were a little too loose. So the Wave 1 figures would tend to fall over sometime. So they sent out replacement feet for the figures.
Oh,
So that's cool. So
nice.
and these don't have toe joints. So if you want the toe joints for posing or whatever, you can use those, or you can use these. They're just more solid. They're better ankles too. So it's a little tighter joints. And I already put them in the shelf, but I got my CT Toys Amazing Spider-Man.
Ooh.
You know what this Spider-Man comes with. So I wanted to get this so I can no web sperm, but several web effects. It comes with a flight stand.
But honestly
imagine.
though, wouldn't everyone trade a flight stand for web sperm?
I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kenny. How do I kick Kenny from here? And guess what, guys? Do you know why I can't show him off to you? He's not in this box because he's on the shelf in a cube on the flight stand back behind some other stuff. So wow, imagine that. So that's my only pickup. Kenny, you got something?
I do. So
Superman. Oh, Lisa.
No. Oh, I was gonna say no super. Never mind. Anyway, Lisa.
Let me make you big.
Make me
How are the
big.
eyes?
Yeah, how are the eyes?
Not bad.
Look decent.
Not bad. Well, I don't know. That left eye is.
It's
Left
drifting
eye,
a little bit.
We didn't look at these before we checked out at Target.
Oh no!
What?
No,
You know the deal, Kenny. What are you thinking?
It was the only Lisa. No,
we've done an episode. That
No,
wasn't this your
it's fine.
first
It's fine.
episode, Kenny?
I'm joking. I'm joking. It's they're fine. They're fine. No, the eyes are good. They've definitely figured it out and corrected the issue. I think maybe for the most part, or at least where I got this one.
Allegedly.
No Superman this week, but Bizarro.
Close enough.
That counts.
It's not Superman. It's Bizarro.
You know, because
It's a
we
man in a
would be.
blue leotard in a red cape. It's a Superman figure.
I
I don't care who you are, what planet backwards planet you're from.
And we would be in Bizarro World, ironically, if Kenny didn't have a Superman figure this week.
See,
so.
Right.
like I have to make sure that every week I at least have one Superman, even if I have to buy a 20-year-old figure.
Exactly.
I'll have one, and next week I should have one as well. So we shall see.
Just gotta stagger.
Yeah, you know exactly. It's all about pacing. And then I did decide to pick up Spider-Boy based on David's recommendation last week, right? So I wasn't gonna get him initially, but he was there, and I decided to. And you know what? I'm looking forward to getting this open. I like, it's cool that they have this like smaller body too. They could do a lot with that. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. Yeah. So.
You won't regret it, Kenny. You won't regret it.
Does Spider-Boy come with web sperm?
He does not, and that honestly is the biggest fault of this.
I mean, maybe he does. Maybe it's not visible.
That's fair. Yeah, that could be the case.
That's a terrifying thought. So Christopher Allen says, in a perfect world, you'd be able to display web sperm on a flight stand. Yeah, a perfect world, Christopher Allen.
You could always buy it. You could always buy a flight stand. I don't know that you can always buy web sperm. You
don't know the right websites to look on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll send you some
David beat
links,
me to it.
Kenny. I'll send you some.
That's fair. Anything's available.
Just type in your search engine web sperm.
I'm probably not going to do that, but
it's probably smart, Kenny. Probably smart. GG Collect says Spider-Boy hasn't hit puberty yet, so he wouldn't have.
Oh, right. Smart.
Okay.
I'm not thinking of that.
There we go. Kenny, was that it for this week, my friend?
That's it.
All right. David, did you have anything you wanted to show off?
You know that I.
Okay.
You know
so Andrew, here we go. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I picked up Agent Venom today. Okay.
Nice.
And the Chameleon.
Ooh.
And I've heard the
what's the belt?
the
was about
QC
to
issue.
ask.
I didn't know about that belt thing. Thankfully, mine didn't have that. Yours doesn't either, right?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I was definitely checking because that was a little disconcerting
Yeah.
on the what was that on the Legends and Liquor group or
Yeah, it was
so
Legends
somebody
and Liquor.
sent that, and then I saw it on Reddit as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So if people don't know, if you're shopping and you're buying your chameleon in person, turn the package to the side and look at the side of his belt. Apparently it's a defect where quite a few have been found where it's not even just snapped. There's a piece hole like missing where it's not connected. So apparently people that have bought it said they couldn't even stretch it to glue it because there's like a hole. I think somebody said like a centimeter of plastic missing.
Yeah, like a good chunk is missing. Yeah.
Yeah, so check your chameleons. Be vigilant, people. Be vigilant.
And
There we go.
I did pick up an extra titania because I used the acetone to remove the lavender.
Yeah,
It
that
is
looks
pretty
good.
tone.
It worked out well. It was like
it looks pretty
easy
tone
to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I had picked up an extra chameleon because I needed red boots to finish off my stripper Captain America custom.
Yeah.
So
As you should. Yeah.
so
the see-through shield is the cherry on top for me.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. That adds like
that makes sense, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The stripper's not gonna carry a fully like opaque shield.
Yeah.
That's gonna obstruct the view
Right.
that he's trying to show off.
Yeah.
Because he's a stripper, right?
In my mind, at the end of his bit and everything, all he's wearing is the mask and he's got the shield covering downstairs, right? But it's not covering, right? So
Right.
so perfect.
Right.
So
that's my headcanon. It's my headcanon.
headed for the action figure gay bar, Boy Toys trademark, and coming to some live AI video footage soon. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's everything.
Awesome, David. And David, John Morrissey has a bone to pick with you. Damn you, David. I just typed web sperm in my browser. Now Homeland Security is pounding on my door.
Don't get deported.
Yeah.
Oh God. So and Michael Davis is a fan. Says yes, David, sexy cat. So
every gay bar needs a stripper Captain America. I'm just saying.
I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Follow up that pickup, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew, where's your stripper Captain America?
Still in the store, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, it's not. Did you miss the previous topic, Andrew? No, it's not.
No, so I went to one of the closing Big Lots since they're going away. Went through the toy aisle and I found a little Funko office, like the office. Little Dwight.
Okay. Yeah.
And he comes with his little desk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's in his chair. And then like the desk separates. What I like, it's got a little filing cabinet. It's got the Froggy 101 sticker on it.
Nice.
And then a few of the things on there.
Man.
So it kind of goes with, it's not the same height, but I got a few of the little figures. I've had these for a little while. So little Jim, Pam, and Oscar and Michael.
We need a good line of 6-inch office figures. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Perfect jeans guy fodder.
What I love is that the Froggy 101 sticker is on there, and like that, I don't know if it's still a station that exists, but that used to be an actual station that exists. So like, I grew up in Delaware. I grew up in Delaware where we had like the Pennsylvania media market, right? So like Froggy 101 was something I'm familiar with as a kid, and I don't know if it's still around, but that's such a good touch. I like it.
Might be. Andrew, what did they have the toy aisle marked down to when you're in Big Lots? Was it still like 30% or whatever it was? Or did they go down some more? 20%? Yeah. Okay. I think there was a Pokemon set I wanted to get, but I'm waiting for them to go down another percentage there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
I gotta say, you had me a little worried when the first words were Funko. I was like, oh, the chat's about to light up again. We're bringing up Funko again, but no, it was something interesting.
We don't
something
a small collection.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna do a video about Funko. We might do a topic. Let's do a live stream talking about. Oh, I've got an idea. I'm gonna talk to you guys off air. Got an
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
Got an idea.
I'm starting to
Let's-
feel a little sick. Oh,
No, it'll
man.
be fun, David. Trust me. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So let's get into our main topic, gentlemen. So no more Build-A-Figures. So it's been what, on the downward trajectory for probably what would you say, guys? The past couple years, is less and less Build-A-Figure waves, or was it mainly just this past year where we only got 3, where it was a huge decline?
You didn't do your research before this topic to have like stats?
David, I've got co-hosts, so I don't have to do research, David.
What?
Okay,
But we don't do research.
We don't do research.
Nope.
you're my
I get
legends
the topic,
guy.
And you're supposed to run off and like make the
My
graphics
legends
and do the
guys.
research. And...
I've got graphics. No research, but I've got graphics.
Oh.
We've got our basic knowledge here, right? So this isn't a fact check of, oh, well, in 2017, there were actually 36 Build-A-Figures and followed by 16 in 2018. No, this isn't that. This is us talking about more the
feel.
and basically the point of view from a customer base and the business base on why they might be rotating them out. And I'm interested to talk about, are we kind of being spoiled brats complaining about the Build-A-Figures going away? That's an interesting, because are they needed is my big thing. Because you look around, how many lines do Build-A-Figures? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Mattel does the wrestling Build-A-Figures. They
Do they
did DC
still?
Build-A-Figures when they still do. Not in every wave, but McFarlane does once in a blue moon.
mm-hmm.
And
Was Plastic
Hasbro,
Man the last McFarlane Build-A-Figure?
I think so.
Plastic Man. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
No. The bat from Batman Forever.
oh, Dark Side too, right?
Oh, yeah, and Dark
Yeah.
Side.
Oh, yeah, the current digital, like,
All right, we're exposing ourselves here. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Dark Side is the most recent one from the Justice League game. Yeah,
Bunch of McFarlane apologists right here.
okay. Well,
Bunch of McFarlane
you know,
apologists.
we don't support that
Yeah.
here.
So-
All right, you know.
allegedly.
Exactly. So basically, for a while, every wave was a Build-A-Figure wave. Besides, they did like some retro carded waves, right? Well, that first, what was it? When was the first retro wave that had, what was it, like Spider-Man and Hawkeye? And there were a couple different waves of them, right? Those cards.
The Hawkeye was wave 2, but that Marvel Gray card,
Mm.
I feel like Toys R Us was still open
Yeah, so
because
2017?
so that had to be 2016, 2017 in there.
Yeah, I think they were
Because
2017.
that was at Toys R Us. I know that I bought some of them at Toys R Us.
Yeah. And carded figures are cool, right? It's nostalgic. It's a throwback to how they were when we were younger. But then it starts to feel kind of like, okay, now we're just getting cards to get cards. Right here, like the X-Men 97 cards are cool, but like it's, and then you have like the Spider-Man retro waves where half of it is, you know, Toy Biz throwback cards. The other half are like new concept cards. Those are kind of okay, whatever. At first it's like, oh, we're getting something nice. And then it's like, I don't know. So, but Build-A-Figures aren't gone completely. They've already announced this is a Build-A-Figure coming out this year, Marvel's Nemesis. So here's an example.
I'm sorry. I have breaking news.
Nope.
I'm sorry. See, as of 6 p.m., CMD Store has this wave in stock, this Build-A-Figure wave. So,
Canada.
like, don't close this window,
It's true.
but
They do.
open another window and get your orders in while it's still in stock on CMD Store. If you want these now and don't want to wait till Amazon ships them in May. So,
There you go.
FYI.
There you go.
Anybody else pick them up? I picked it up before. Yes, Kenny. Yes, Kenny.
I did.
Um,
Once you sent that message, I went and ordered it. So yeah.
You know, Kenny's got to get those reviews up before Dan.
Thank you. Exactly. This is the only way I'm gonna get views is if I get breaking news on action figures, right? So
Word.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Dan will still get his views. He'll be fine. But you know,
Yeah.
I gotta carve out my 500 views. You know, so anyway.
And look out for the little guy, right, Kenny? Look out for the little guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the question, the true test is: are you going to beat toys? Are you going to beat MCU Collector from getting these from Toy Snowman?
Well, no. So he's my next target. I've already got Dan covered, but next is MCU Collector. So it's kind of a battle there, but whatever.
You got this, Kenny. You got this. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight to carve out our first men in like niche here on Collect and Justified.
There we go.
I like it.
There we go. Everybody go over to Kenny's channel.
That's could be our last Build-A-Figure wave we ever get. So
it could be.
Run out and buy it.
So just as an example, here's this is Rogue from the Juggernaut wave. And it's easy to look back and be like, oh, we used to get so much. I found this picture, intriguing because this was a sought after figure. Even with the Rogue re-releases, some people still preferred this Rogue. Rogues are just hard to find. Like in the Jim Lee outfit, they always sell out and everything. So this Rogue got crazy on the aftermarket until we got like the retro carded Rogue, and then was 97 Rogue. So, but looking back now, it's like, oh, all this came with was the big leg, right? Still no accessories.
This, I think, is the inaccurate because they released her with an ungloved hand.
I would hope so, right?
They did release her with an ungloved hand. So, like, I think this was an early shot because they updated it. And, like, again, it was one hand. It was one empty, like, ungloved hand. So, it's still not a lot.
Yeah. Exactly. And Compulsive Collector says, I'd be fine with them scrapping Build-A-Figures, but the miniature comics are even worse than the Secret Wars shields. Yeah, we'll get to that, John. We'll get to that.
So real quick, because I'm doing research as we go, because apparently that's how we run this operation.
Exactly. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah. So we had 6 Build-A-Figures in 2023, only 3 in 2024. So what 1.5 in 2025?
So far, 1 confirmed for 2025.
There we go. Rest of the year, you're getting shit.
We'll see.
So my issue with I'm with John. I don't have to have a Build-A-Figure in a wave, but to me, like, so David, you're saying this had an extra hand. Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem with Legends, my beef with it, if you will, is when you carve out this Build-A-Figure right here, like they don't replace it with anything. That's my problem.
Yes.
That's my problem.
It's all about perceived value, right? Like
exactly. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you.
And Justin, I agree with you completely. That is my issue with not getting the Build-A-Figures. Build-A-Figure or not, that's fine. But like, if a Build-A-Figure wave cost me $24.99 per figure and a retro wave cost me $24.99 per figure, what's the difference? I'm getting more out of the Build-A-Figure in essence, so not to cut you off. I mean,
no, you're fine. And then that's a good point, Kenny, because then going into like carded figures and specifically carded figures. Now, I can't fit all of them on here. And for time's sake, we don't want another 4-hour stream. I'm just kind of going streamlined and just throwing examples up on the screen. So I love the Spider-Man retro card. And I think the Secret Wars card, the X-Men 97 cards, they're cool. But the issue is perceived value, like Kenny said. So to me, it starts to feel like, okay, are we getting it as a throwback? Because that's cool. But then everything's coming carded now. So that's fine, but make sure you're packing accessories. I think this Spider-Man's good because it comes with I would like to see maybe an extra head in here. It comes with the thwip hands, the wall crawling hands and fists, 2 web effects, whatever. Those are fine, I guess. Wolverine, comes with extra hands, an extra head, and the cowl. I would like to see maybe one more Wolverine head with like a grimacing face, Yeah, that'd be cool. This Spidey, I think this is what I like for value. The lenticular shields, it's there's a throwback, right? So, but it's still a piece in there, whether you like it or you don't. He still comes with an extra head and 2 extra sets of hands, so 3 sets of hands total. I think this is the sweet spot in this Spidey, the Secret Wars. I'm curious on what your thoughts are.
I agree. Like, again, for me, it comes down to perceived value. Like, what am I looking at with the package? What's in there? I don't want to see a big empty bubble, right? Like, the cards are great, and that's really what they're preying on, is the nostalgia. So that's why retro cards, fantastic. But as an open box collector, I honestly do not care what the packaging is. You know, it's cool, it's great, it harkens back to a bygone era, sure, whatever. But I'm opening the figure at the end of the day. So if it's on a retro card or it's in a BAF wave, it really makes no difference to me. What I want, though, is to make sure that the $24.99 I'm spending on a Marvel Legend is giving me what I want out of the figure. And whether that's a Build-A-Figure piece or more accessories, again, doesn't make a lot of difference. I think with the loaded accessories, that's fine. That gives you a lot of options to choose from. But at the end of the day, a lot of those accessories just end up in a bin for me, right? And I think a lot of collectors, it is good to have those because then you can choose how you want to display your figure, which I think ultimately that's the value in the figure, getting what you can out of it for options for your display, right? Multiple heads, multiple hands. If you want a stoic look, you can just display it that way. If you want an action look, you have a face with some sort of expression. That, I think that's what I would like to see more, is just giving those types of options. You could get rid of the Build-A-Figure. That's fine. It removes that aspect, because the Build-A-Figure thing does frustrate a lot of collectors, right? They're buying figures that they have no desire to even own because they want that Build-A-Figure, right? Or vice versa. But it doesn't need to be that way, where like you could just sell a good figure with the right options, and that would be good enough for, I think, the majority of collectors. So,
well, so what, to your point, Kenny, John Morrissey says, I love BAFs because I'm a Legends completist.
Yeah.
That's free Build-A-Figures are free figures, sometimes a huge one, because I buy the whole wave anyway. Yes, to me, BAF-less waves represent much lower value. But then Michael Davis says, my issue with BAFs is having to buy figures I don't want. Where's the value in that? So, I mean, I see it from both sides, but but in one, you don't have to buy anything that you really don't want. Like, you can either sell off the figure and make some money back, potentially the entire cost of the whole thing anyway, or you can seek out and buy the Build-A-Figure part loose, so that you're not buying the figure that you don't want and putting yourself through the hassle of needing to sell it. I don't particularly sell off anything. Like, I'm just not that, I'm not built that way.
Same.
But I do particularly buy waves to build a figure. But for me, it's like some Build-A-Figures I could care less if they make. Like, I'm not thrilled with this new Build-A-Figure that's coming in the wave that I just bought from CMD store. But like, I could go my entire life and a second lifetime not owning that Build-A-Figure. But I do want all of the characters in the wave. So for me, the Build-A-Figure in that instance is a bonus free figure, because I am buying all the regular figures in the wave anyway. So there is value in that, even though I don't necessarily want the Build-A-Figure, because it's giving me an extra thing that I can find a place for in my display. Or if I really, really, really hate it and don't care for it, I can potentially sell it off
Yeah.
and make some money back on what I spent on the wave, you know?
Like for me, like I'm a completionist. I agree with John. Like I'm a completionist in that way. Like I'm just buying it, right? But to Michael's point, like with the value, that's kind of what I was talking about is the perceived value of it all. If you're gonna have both, then charge different prices. But like they're not gonna do that, you know, for reasons, right? Because it's all about a bottom line at the end of the day. But for me, like if a retro carded figure costs $22.99 and a build a figure wave figure costs $24.99, then I think I can easily justify that. I just don't like the fact that they both cost the same, and you're getting a lot of like empty space on some of these retro carded figures.
Well, and kind of Rush touches on that topic in the comments. If you're comparing Build-A-Figure waves to carded waves, you have to take in the budget comparison as well. BAF waves have a lot of reused molds, while retro card waves have more unique sculpts. Now,
it's all still reused and a lot of it though, right?
What?
Yeah, I would say there's a good amount of reuse in the retro card wave.
Yeah, I was
retro card waves too.
I have the X-Men retro card wave, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, and the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary tribute wave like on my wall like right now. So I am listening to you while you guys are talking, but I'm looking at this to like kind of like see what the offerings are, and I would say it's a fair balance of like new sculpts, like in the Iron Man wave, like a lot of the Iron Man armors are new sculpts. And She-Hulk was a new sculpt, but then Blacklash and Nefaria were built on existing things. So 4 out of 6 of that wave were new sculpts. But I was going to say, like, think of the budget across the wave. So there are going to be figures that are packed with tons of accessories, and then there are going to be some that are light because if the budget went to the new sculpts, then the amount of hands and heads that are packed in are gonna vary per figure in the wave because of where the budget had to go within that wave. Also, Build-A-Figure wave, usually 7 figures. One of them does not include the Build-A-Figure piece. Like this current wave is Wolverine. He doesn't have a Build-A-Figure piece.
Right.
But retro carded waves typically are 6 figures in a wave. So that kind of evens out because you would only need to buy 6 to build a figure.
Yeah.
And you'd only need to buy 6 to get the complete wave. So when you think of costing like $22 versus $24.99, like it kind of still evens out from how much it would cost Hasbro to produce the wave. Wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll never know exactly what their books look like on their side, but I mean, you can definitely play devil's advocate and say that, oh, it all evens out, with, because there's always in regular waves, whether it's Build-A-Figure or not, there's going to be a character that is lackluster, right? As far as accessories or it's all reuse or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And then there's usually one that's like brand new sculpt and loaded down with accessories, and you can tell where the budget went for that character. So there's always going to be an ebb and flow, right? And we're not necessarily criticizing, but at the same time, it's more, this is food for thought, right? Food for thought of where the line appears to be going, because it's been kind of a slow change, and it wasn't until this past year after when everyone was like, wait a second, there were only 3 Build-A-Figures last year. Well, oh, okay, we see what's going on. And
look, to Hasbro's benefit, right? It makes total sense. Like I have no question about that. If I'm in their position, I wouldn't do Build-A-Figure waves. That's a waste of money, or not a waste of money, but it's a lost profit. I can make the same amount of dollars not putting Build-A-Figure piece in there. From a corporation standpoint, it makes the most sense not to do the Build-A-Figures if you're going to charge the same price for the individual figures. So
Well,
And
sorry.
John here. Oh, sorry, David. Even John here saying selling off unwanted figures ends up being more trouble than it's worth the last couple of years. I feel that too, John. I definitely feel that too. Because you got seller fees, you got to ship it out. You got to. It's just a pain in the butt.
It takes a huge chunk out of it, and at the end of the day, are you making anything? You're not making anything. You're just kind of cutting into what you spent. But is it worth the time and effort? I don't know. That's up to you, right? So,
well,
exactly.
I want to say I think us having 3 Build-A-Figures last year and only 1 confirmed so far this year, I wouldn't normally have been suspicious of retro cards for this reason, but I think like they started the retro card possibly just to capitalize on the nostalgia of it all, right? But then if they start filtering in like a modern card alternative into the Spider-Man waves, that starts to change the perception for me of like they're stretching out a Spider-Man retro wave with non-retro things, and that's
there are plenty of characters they could do
more.
Or the upcoming comic wave. I think that's the most egregious example of this entire conversation, right?
And I'm curious, Andrew, I want to get as a Star Wars collector, because you see this in Black Series too. There are regular box waves, not Build-A-Figures. Y'all don't do Build-A-Figures, but you have regular box waves. But then you have it's called the Archive series, right? Where they're on cards. So when you see that as a Star Wars collector, what goes through your mind? Because as Marvel Legends collectors, like we're used to like, oh, at least I get a Build-A-Figure piece with this too. And it's, as Kenny said, it's added perceived value. For you, is there a difference when you see like a Darth Vader on a card versus a Darth Vader in a box? Does that make any difference to you on which one you're after? Or is it just...
Makes no difference. Not for me. No. Because I'm not an in-box collector, so I don't really care to have on card. So,
well,
what is the reasoning?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, David. Sorry.
No.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, some of the archives. So, I have an archive. Well, maybe it's not archive, but like a on card Bo-Katan that came on the card back versus in box, and the paint's different. That's about the only real difference. It wasn't an archive version, but it came on the card back.
But essentially, Andrew, you would buy whichever figure is looks the best to you, right? Like because you're not concerned about the packaging, right?
No.
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, for me, like with retro card waves, because my collecting is so nostalgia driven, they not only get me to buy the retro card wave, they get me to buy 2 because I do want to open one for the figure, and then I want another one to keep on the card. So they typically get me to buy double of every retro card wave. So now I'm paying twice as much to have a second set that I don't open, but because of the modern card that was filtered in, I don't buy double of those. So like I'm because there's no nostalgic attachment to me. Like X-Men 97, which you have on the screen right now, that card back has no nostalgic attachment. So I didn't buy 2 of those. I bought 1 of everything because I like the figures. But like where they dilute the retro card message with the modern stuff that doesn't capitalize on nostalgia is where they lose me from the double purchase.
Yeah.
But then I want to highlight Joe O'Neill is in the chat. He says, you know, we've shown Hasbro we will buy waves without the Build-A-Figures and then buy the Build-A-Figure. Consider the X-Men blue and yellow costume 3-packs plus the green and black Rogue. That's 7 figures. Then Blob was released separately. So essentially we bought a 7-figure wave and then paid extra $60 for the Build-A-Figure.
Joe,
Thoughts. So like that's completely valid and I agree. But I haven't done the math, but are they squeezing more money out of us that way?
Yes.
Than by just doing the Build-A-Figure wave. Yeah?
Definitely.
Right.
I would think so, right? Like that seems like but they have to think about that, right? Like they know that Blob is going to be in high demand. 3-packs, as beautiful as they are, they went to clearance, right? But Blob did not.
And Rogue went to clearance too.
And Rogue went to clearance too, right? So did they milk it? Yeah, probably, but I think ultimately it didn't go their way because everything aside from Blob went to clearance, right? So
flip the argument though, because say that Blob was broken up and built into each of those figures individually packed.
Yeah.
Then like for me, like I say, I buy the whole wave to build the Build-A-Figure. But wouldn't we say Build-A-Figures were originally designed to like ensure the sales of the entire wave?
Right. It was supposed to be like a thing to bring you into it, right? Like an extra attraction
you wouldn't normally have bought. You buy it now because you want to build the Build-A-Figure.
You want that left leg.
Right. So like if all the 275 figures were individually packed with a Blob piece, like it would have been a different narrative. They wouldn't have all gone to clearance necessarily, but you would have seen a lot more people selling off solo 275 figures. Than we might have, because the people that don't want the 3-pack never bought it, you know? So it's again kind of six of one and half a dozen of the other, because
I agree.
You know, like I think they get me because I'm gonna buy the whole wave whether I want the characters or not in order to build the figure, and if I want the whole wave of characters, I'll still buy it and keep the Build-A-Figure if I don't want the Build-A-Figure, you know? So like they get me either way. I'm a sucker, and you know, I'm throwing my money at Hasbro on either side of the street.
Same.
But I think I still feel like there's more perceived value in a Build-A-Figure because you still get the extra figure.
Yeah.
You know?
At the end of the day, the people that are really it's going to be split down the middle. You have the people that buy, they're completionists, like David and Kenny here, that the Build-A-Figure piece is just extra value. It's the cherry on top. Then you have people like me and Andrew, who's just barely getting into Marvel Legends. I've really scaled back on Marvel Legends, where a Build-A-Figure I want is just a headache, because it's like John said, it's hard to sell off those figures you had to buy for the Build-A-Figure piece and get any money back. I had to do that with Zabu because I didn't want that whole wave. So that was a little bit of a pain. But I will say the people that are hurt the most is where Marvel Legends is becoming more and more deep cuts. They're going more and more deep cuts as the line goes on.
Yeah.
So having it as a Build-A-Figure wave really is their insurance policy that a figure will sell, and you won't have a figure just sitting there being, you know, like the Eternals waves that had a Build-A-Figure but nobody cared on the shelf, where the completionists, the deep divers like David and Kenny, want like a character that most the mainstream doesn't care about. But if they put a Zabu leg with them, that at least they know a certain amount of volume of that character will move.
So that actually is brings up a good point. Like, okay, so if they move away from Build-A-Figure waves, we do get pretty obscure characters as Build-A-Figures, right? Like those wouldn't necessarily do well as a deluxe release, right? So it does kind of take away this way of getting something that we wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah. It's, you never know what you might be missing out on, right?
But what if what if we're identifying the shift in how they're doing Build-A-Figures? Because take the Zabu wave, that was a mix and match hodgepodge of random characters that nobody would have necessarily asked for on their own. What was it? And the Void wave. So like Justice and Red Widow and Kazar, and you know, like there's this wide variety, the Crystar, and like
Yeah.
all of these figures don't necessarily fit a theme.
Yeah.
Or are from A-lister teams, but they're from niche teams and little corners and pockets of the Marvel universe that the diehards would really want. So is that where it's going? Where like every hodgepodge wave of the Wolfsbane, X Factor, and Red Widow is gonna be the Build-A-Figure wave.
Yeah.
Like right now, this Nemesis Build-A-Figure is Husk and it's an X-Men themed wave, but they're all very niche
from very different
X
parts of
characters.
X-Men. Yeah.
Right. So like then your retro cards are your more like laser focused Spider-Man, and you get half A-list Spider-Man characters and then half niche characters, but the retro card is the appeal to make you pick it up, like
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah. That may be where it's shifting, like that's all I'm saying. It's like if every Build-A-Figure, like we'll get 3 Build-A-Figures a year still, but they will be that kind of tossed together battle world version, cobbled together.
And I think I said before, like, I don't mind them scaling back on Build-A-Figures, but I think 4 makes sense. 1 a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a lot to ask. I think that's pretty fair. It scales down on previous years, but we at least get 4 Build-A-Figures a year. I don't know. Maybe devil's advocate, maybe they just don't think that it's a sustainable program, and they just don't know what they're going to make for Build-A-Figures in years to come. But I don't know.
The bigger characters that could have been Build-A-Figures, those bigger characters can sell on their own as a deluxe.
Yeah.
Whereas like the niche characters that wouldn't sell on their, like you said this moments ago, like those niche characters that like a Chode or a Nemesis or Void or Zabu, they wouldn't necessarily sell on their own, but as a Build-A-Figure, if you tie those parts to other niche characters that different corners of the collector world would want, then you've moved a Build-A-Figure scale figure that couldn't have sold as a deluxe, like a Blob, who we know was a Build-A-Figure before, doesn't need to be a Build-A-Figure now because he will sell on his own.
Precisely.
That's fair. And before we move on to the next slide, I do want to say, as someone who's not a completionist, I hate having that drawer filled with Build-A-Figure pieces that I'm never going to be able to get rid of, figures I'm never going to complete. That's a pain in the butt. But that's only a me problem.
Build-A-Figure parts. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can always sell Build-A-Figure pieces for like $5, but then again, it's like, is it worth your time and effort? I don't know. That's up to you.
But let's see here. So speaking of perceived value, and Rush brought up some MCU stuff in the chat here. So I get this. I do. Because honestly, I backtracked on I had this Black Panther. I backtracked on the full solid black one without the purple. And I got this Black Widow because it is new face sculpts, new head. Should have been a brand new body. Not gonna really, it should have been a brand new body because they've updated female sculpts before this came out. They could have put this on a better female body. I don't understand why they didn't. I understand, especially MCU being in the zeitgeist and it being the huge driving force that it was. But so you want evergreen characters. You said this earlier, David.
Yeah.
On Target shelves and everything. This Iron Man's the only thing on a Target shelf right now, as far as Marvel
is. Yeah.
It's good to have an MCU Iron Man out there. Andrew, I know you were able to pick up basically this armor, right?
Yeah.
But you got it at the toy show for a good price. Definitely not that $24.99. So I understand it and I get it. But where they're missing the boat on this is do it in waves. So it's kind of timeline right here. They did the Black Panther one first. And then this hodgepodge wave came out of kind of Legacy. It's not branded Legacy, but it's Infinity Saga. And then they came out with like the Iron Man and the Iron Spider together. I think they saw this whole Black Panther Legacy wave go to Ollie's.
Yes.
And they were like, okay, so we're not doing a whole wave per movie like we thought they were going to do, which is a good idea to update sculpts, update face sculpts, and it keeps the evergreen MCU characters out there. This is something that could work. The problem is this was released before with the Build-A-Figure piece. Now it's getting re-released with no updates, with no Build-A-Figure piece for the same price. That makes no sense, and that's what hurt this wave.
The Black Panther wave, you mean?
Yeah, the Black Panther wave. Because M'Baku got released as a Target exclusive, and he was one of the Black Panther Build-A-Figures. I forget from which wave. That was a good way to go and backtrack and get that figure, because I was able to go back and backtrack and get that figure. That even ended up at Ollie's. This Black Widow here and the wave, what was all in this wave? It was a Captain America.
There's a Thor.
Thor, yeah. I think this is the Thor. The Thor in this wave was the one Andrew tracked down.
The Bruce Banner.
Yep.
Yeah. The Bruce Banner was good. This Black Widow is good for the head sculpts, but again, that body should have been updated. I appreciate the actual guns for her to hold, where it's not just sculpted in guns. There are accessories. There's extra head, blah, blah, all that. This still should have been a theme. It should have been, because these still ended up going on clearance and places and everything. I think you're just missing the boat on this. A Hulk Build-A-Figure in this wave would have done wonders for this entire wave, I feel like.
If it was a Hulk that was like in his jumpsuit from Endgame,
it doesn't even
like
matter.
something different of a Hulk, you know?
Yeah. Or even, we don't really have a great MCU Marvel Legends Hulk, honestly. Especially, when was the last time we got, the last one that was released, was that with the Hulkbuster in that 2-pack?
Yeah, pack, I think. Yeah.
That's a long time ago, man. That's a long time ago for MCU Hulk.
I think that the concept of legacy evolved from when they started it to now, because I think the original point of the Black Panther legacy line was to get it's from the first movie to the second movie, it's the same characters, they're relatively wearing the same outfits, so like they don't need to do new sculpts for that, really, but they did update a lot of like the face printing, and the Chadwick Boseman head was like way better.
The Shuri was a lot better too.
Yeah, so like they did do improvements from a technology standpoint when they re-released a lot of these figures, but I think the original intent was to just have a wave on the pegs during the time that second movie came out, even though there wasn't a lot of new to pull from that movie, like, you know what I mean? Like they don't need to do all new sculpts for everybody, for M'Baku, because he looks exactly like he did in the first one, Exactly. But it's a way for them to be present on the shelves during the movie time frame, which has been challenging in recent years because of the movies shifting months and months away from when they were originally supposed to release, and them holding waves of toys in the back for 9 months until the movie finally comes out. Like, there's all sorts of other things that are affecting the movie waves, which affects then the legacy collection, because they're trying to match timelines and capitalize on the spending power during the time when the movie is out in theaters to be watched.
Right.
So, like you said, David, I'm sorry, but like you said, it did evolve, and you can see how it evolved. But I feel like not doing a Build-A-Figure here, and it's just like not perceived value. I think people that you said, there technology wise, there were updates, and paint apps wise, and that's good. That's good, especially if you missed out on anything. But collectors that had already picked these up looked at it and like, man, they're just gouging us at this point, right?
Well, wouldn't you be mad if you had to rebuy all these figures to get Build-A-Figure?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I think having Build-A-Figures in this would piss off more people than it would make happy, right?
Yeah.
Like, these are meant to be more evergreen, and packing a Build-A-Figure in there, it would be great, but I do think that would make more people mad than not putting the Build-A-Figure piece in there.
Right.
Because
and they've got to do all that new tooling, like profit margin wise. They have to do the new tooling for a Build-A-Figure, whereas this, they can repackage it. They can digital print a head that already exists, and it looks better than it did before. Like in the chat, Jason Smith, who is my asset protection guy at my store in Jamaica, Queens. Hey, Jason, what up? I'm back on Monday. They could have a Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster suit as a Build-A-Figure for that. And that's true. Like they never did, you know, they have a Bruce Banner head. They have a Hulkbuster body. So they could have cobbled together some interesting way to do that. And maybe they would have sold more of the Infinity Saga Legacy reprints, you know, like it's true. But like, I think that this Legacy is a way for them to like, not spend any money making anything and sell it again, you know, sell it a second time.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I just wish there was a little more updating. Like, I know I used the Iron Man picture here. The Iron Man, it's a good figure for MCU. What kills me is alongside this, they did the Iron Spider. And you know what wasn't included with that single packed Iron Spider?
Yeah.
It was the legs. The legs.
Yeah,
the Waldo.
That was a big miss on that. Like,
step backwards.
That hurt. That figure sold better than this Iron Man, which is crazy, and it didn't have the Waldos. I don't understand it. I don't understand. But yeah, I understand what they're doing here. I just wanted to throw this up as another example for non-Build-A-Figure, you know, legends we're getting out there. It makes sense. It does. I really like this wave of Infinity Saga right here in the middle just kind of hurt my soul that I was hoping it was going to be a little more updated than what it was. So,
well, I mean, and I feel you about the Black Widow. Like I bought all the previous versions of that Black Widow, and I probably, if I saw this in stores, I probably would have bought this for the improved face printing. But there is not, to your point, there is not enough newness in this for me really to justify it to myself. Like I would have really struggled swiping my card for this figure.
Yeah.
Just for those heads. Like, but they're also not going to spend the money to tool a new upper torso with butterfly joints or, you know, like they're just not for this, you know, like,
yeah. And
then they would say, well, we spent the money on that, so we're not going to do this retro card wave, you know? So like,
fair.
You know, the money, there's only a finite amount of money they're going to spend to make these toys. And like, I think we're learning year over year as this line goes into 23 years of production. Like we're seeing where they're making the choices, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the next slide we're going to get into, it's been brought up, the deluxe figures. So we're getting more deluxes now. And it can be argued what really counts as a deluxe these days. I'm looking at you, Electro. I don't know what justifies a deluxe price point anymore, to be honest with you. Kenny, so this $34.99 Electro, are you still feeling good about that $40 Spider-Man?
Yes, I'm still. I'm telling you that Spider-Man will be $39.99. Okay, I stand by that. This doesn't make me feel great about it, but I stand by it because I can't change my position now. So, yes.
To the bitter end, Kenny is going to go down with the ship.
I'm dying on this hill. Yes.
Yeah.
Full transparency.
Justin, you don't have
go
to
ahead,
slide with this Electro next to the retro card female Electro.
No.
Did you see that though?
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that. It's a $10 price difference, exact same amount of accessories.
You get two hands and the electric effects and the body.
The argument is this new sculpt, and that's a good argument to be had. But then it's like, then can you justify an extra $10 anytime there's a new sculpt? Aren't they supposed to, in theory, spread that cost?
But yeah, that's like
across
budgeted.
The line?
Yeah.
That's, I get it, and you can't even say there's not even. I'm paying a 34. I bought it. I'm pulling a David here. I'm gonna complain. I bought it. I want it, so I got it. I like this Electro. Full transparency, I like it. I'm not thrilled about the extra $10 on it because there's not even a Jamie Foxx likeness. There's not an extra head. I mean, but I would only display it with the powered up head anyway. to be honest. So
Yeah, but I think we could justify this if the Jamie Foxx likeness, like if there was a Jamie Foxx head in there, then you say, oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's why it costs $34.99 because we had to pay for Jamie Foxx, right? But
exactly.
I mean, we're just getting the powered on head. It's not like they have the full likeness of Jamie Foxx in there. So I mean, I don't know the minutia in getting to this point when they have to get likeness rights and everything, but I'm assuming that if you're not showing the person's face, probably not paying like the likeness rights.
Well, they didn't bother to get Harrison Ford's likeness rights in that Red Hulk.
That's fair. They just ignored that altogether. So yeah, there you go.
And what's the price point on him? I bought him, but I don't even remember what I spent on him. Is he 40?
I think 40. I think 40. I didn't buy it, so I don't know. So.
That's the shame. I did buy it, and I don't even remember what I spent on it. Like how backwards is that? But
yeah,
maybe we should do like a Price is Right, a theme show where we like guess how much these things cost.
Remember when there were actual
just
set
like
price
stuff we've already
points?
bought? Yeah, we're just like
mass
$1.
suggested retail price, you know?
And my biggest thing is people are saying like these are cool updated electric effects with like the female electro and this electro. Oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, they're just slightly bigger things that Lightning Collection was already giving us. That's
with a C-clip.
Honestly, I'm not.
For the
it's
wrist.
Cool though. Yeah. It's cool. I like it. Again, I'm getting it. I don't give a crap about this Red Hulk. I don't. Maybe I'll feel different after I see the movie, but then will I? Because like you said, David, that's not Harrison Ford. That's not him.
It's wild. I'm gonna be so pissed if they come out with a Harrison Ford head sculpt though, like to re-release this.
It'll be in the Legacy collection.
I'm gonna be so pissed. Just letting everyone know right now. I'm gonna be pissed. Collecting Rush in the chat. Ronan the Accuser Deluxe was about 40 because it was not budgeted with any other figures. Same as this Electro, it's a standalone figure. It's not part of the Waiver series.
But the Ronan was a very expensive BAF, right? Like getting that older Build-A-Figure, if you didn't have it or you weren't collecting back then, that was a pretty expensive Build-A-Figure on the aftermarket, right? So I think like people were okay with the $40 deluxe price on that.
Yeah.
But also that one clearanced out as well. So I don't know.
He reused some Colossus parts too.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like the torso was new, but
I'm gonna put my Kenny conspiracy cap on for 1 second. I really hope, because we're talking about slowly phasing things out, right? Like Build-A-Figures, slowly phasing them out, slow price increases. I hope that leading into the Maximum series and seeing kind of watered down deluxes here, is it a slow, getting us used to higher price points of just slowly raising prices to make it, when the next, we're paying 34 for these. And again, I'm getting it. I like it. It's going to be a little less surprising when that next wave is $30.
So your argument is that there's a mental conditioning going on from Hasbro to shift our perception of value.
I mean,
so that
isn't that the whole thing with marketing?
To spending $50, $60, $70, $80 on minimal releases. I think that's feasible. I wouldn't even categorize that as a conspiracy theory. I think that is what businesses.
That's the truth. Yeah.
It's what businesses like. You compared. I think last week you said you work retail, and I don't know if you said this to me, Justin, or somebody else, but you work retail, and you did say this, where you're it all evens out. Like they're still making the profit, like whether they package it as a special deep discount or it's marked down or whatever. So it's true, the entire business of anybody trying to sell you something is to make you believe that you're getting the value for what you're spending your money on. That's the only way anybody can sell anything to anybody, is to like present them with an argument of value, and like you will be better for owning this. So, I mean, this toy collection community is so like we come at it from all different angles, and there's different like nostalgic connections to characters and teams and entry points to collecting, that the one through line that they have to navigate is like explaining value to every single one of us who perceives value differently, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's a hard job for them to have to do.
Oh yeah.
But we know that they have to do it, and because they're fighting for every dollar from me, from you, from Kenny, from Andrew, from Alexi, they're fighting for every damn dollar so that we don't go and spend it on Mayfex or McFarlane, So I think where they're getting a lot of pushback is because these conversations have been happening so much since, I would say, 2020, because that again is a benchmark of like the change in shopping patterns and like
collecting culture too, I think.
Yeah.
What?
And collecting culture, like a lot of people came in during the pandemic, right? Like who never collected before, and exploded the whole scene.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's these conversations happen more and more every day, and the costs of things are rising, and inflation, and the new president will impose tariffs, and so it's gonna continue to evolve, like how the Hasbro brand has to tap dance in order to convince us to continue to spend this much money and this much money and this much money on their stuff. So, like
that leads great into like what we were talking about earlier with the retro cards, cutting out the Build-A-Figure pieces. And then you get something like a Red Hulk that could have been a Build-A-Figure with a wave that was carded instead. Not a very good example because different is a movie, but you get what I'm saying. Where we again have the argument of the people that want Red Hulk can just go buy Red Hulk now. But then the people that wanted, like, let's say there was a full Captain America wave. We know there's not, but let's say there was to go alongside this. Buying the whole wave and getting the Build-A-Figure, as a free figure versus, again, not having to buy that whole wave and you just go down the street and buy it. It's again, it's going to be split 50-50 down the middle, I think. Where with this, it's like, well, we're not getting a whole wave, but at least we're getting a Red Hulk. At least we're getting this Electro that we've been waiting 2 years for at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm fine with deluxe price points at 34, but then you're starting to creep up to like the Phoenix price was 50. And it came with, I like the stand and everything, and thankfully I was able to get it for 24 instead off the Target app. But we're creeping up there, man, price wise. And it's just, again, just following the breadcrumbs and seeing how things are changing too.
Well, that was a 2-pack though. That was a 2-pack. It was Phoenix and Jean Grey and the Phoenix entity. It's a character.
Okay.
So, $25 per character, right?
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think that's a stronger argument than charging more than $40 for the Maximum Spider-Man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But guys, and then so Kenny mentioned this earlier. So then it's kind of this is so weird. This wave is so weird to me because it comes with some characters. I know David and Kenny were both really excited for this Adam Warlock when it was, rumored. So no, we're getting it. Rom's a deep cut. I know it's a cool looking character. So there's the Banshee in this wave that everyone's been wanting. So it's cool, but it's weird that it's carded. I don't understand why it's carded. And we're throwing in these comics, like mini comics that have they're like, what's the point? What's the point? It's cool that it's an extra thing, but I don't want it cutting into something else that could have been there. So this feels like such a big reach to where you're trying anything to justify not making this a Build-A-Figure wave. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, as I've said now many times, I am convinced that Hasbro will do anything to not do a Build-A-Figure wave, including this. It's fine. Like I just don't get it. Like I have no desire or need for 1/12 scale comic book. I don't know. Like it's just like not taking anything away from if people out there saw this and they're like, oh fuck yeah, like I am so pumped to get these little tiny comic books, then I love you and I love you for it, but it means nothing to me. It's useless. It's gonna go into the bin. It takes up space that I don't need. That could have been an extra head. Could it have been a Build-A-Figure wave? Yeah, I think this probably would have been a Build-A-Figure wave. It's a good hodgepodge of characters that kind of goes into the point earlier about like those are how Build-A-Figure waves have been. I don't know. Like
it's making Kenny's head hurt.
Yeah, it really does. Like it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. I got nothing for you.
I do want to shout out. It's a UK invasion right now in the chat. Cheeky Monkey's here saying evening. Off to bed. Just wanted to say hi. Thank you for stopping by, Kiara.
Hey, Kiara.
And of course, that means Jay's Toy Collection UK is here as well. And guys, it's Christopher Allen said, just send all your unwanted comic books his way because he likes.
You got it, Chris. Like, and Michael, I'm with you. Like, I'm gonna get the whole wave. It's just like I'm gonna send all of my little comic books to Christopher Allen. So now I know what I'm gonna do with them. I feel better. But that's
everyone's favorite made Kenny feel better. Look at that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
That's what he's here for. This one just burns a little more because it is a good hodgepodge selection of characters, right? I mean, where it's like, wow, what we could have had, right, David? What are your thoughts on this?
So I think that this is Hasbro's attempt to fashion a retro card concept around a hodgepodge selection of characters. So not necessarily the intent to not do a Build-A-Figure, because if you look at what's on this card, on the Adam Warlock card, he's got the staff, he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, he's got two extra hands, and that wouldn't you say that's about what we get on a retro card in general? So then you throw in right. So then you throw in who is that? Who's that?
Jay.
Toy Collection. It is a UK invasion.
There's a full invasion. You have a mole in the camp. The password has been leaked, and I'm here.
Guys, it wasn't me this time. I swear. I don't know.
Sure, Kent. Sure. Jay, is wrestling over already, my friend?
It's been open. It started. I've just done a 5-hour live stream. So. It is 10 to 4 in the morning.
So let's tack on 2 more hours, Jay.
Just roll through.
Let's go all night. You're spending your night with these 4 men in this room. I'll tell you that.
Welcome,
Jay.
Jay,
you just joined us as we're talking about the comic wave, the mini comic wave, which you had reactions to like right after. But I'm saying like this is essentially a retro card wave that's not based on any unifying theme other than the fact that these characters were in comic books at some point in history. Right. And
there you go then.
And like think of like we got the little book comes with MCU Peter Parker figure. There's a little book that comes with Moira McTaggart. So essentially that's the same piece that just has a printed comic cover on it. You know, like it's another accessory on a retro card with a figure. So I don't necessarily I don't understand the outrage about the fact that there's a mini comic here, because we've gotten little books packed with figures before, and this is a figure with hands and heads and accessories on a card. So, but what I think is really missing from this offering is a tie back to comic books through a QR code or something to make it, to justify why there is a little comic packed in with this figure. Like, that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, if you're gonna do and introduce a comic packed in with the figure, then just do it everywhere. Do it with the Build-A-Figure waves, do it with every retro card wave. Like, pack in the comic cover from a comic that they appeared in, if it was their first appearance, or if there was like a massive like Jim Lee X-Men #1, like, do that, you know, like, spread it across the whole Marvel Legends. If you're not going to pack a real comic in with the figure anymore, pack in the mini comic, and then we have a broad collection. We're not just going to have issue ROM #1 and, you know, giant size X-Men, which is a good comic cover, but like, you know, like, it's either like go big or go home. Like, don't do it, you know, like, go all the way, I guess.
All the way.
I always
way,
advocate going all the way. That's
all the way.
The moral of the story. Yeah.
Jay, I think you've been kind of a bit more choosy with Marvel Legends here lately too, right?
I've been trying to be. I try to wait for the sale. I literally just completed the Blackheart Build-A-Figure today, so that's taken a while to do. But I like this wave. The comic book. I like the concept of the comic book. I'm not a massive fan of the execution, I suppose how I'd put it. I don't like the fact there's no back cover on the comic book. If it was an actual mini comic you could open, like, a lot of the He-Man figures will come with mini comics, obviously on much bigger scale than this. I can. Is it replacing a BAF, though, or are we just getting away from BAFs? I think potentially that the era of the BAF, unfortunately, as being a big BAF fan, is pretty much over. I think the way forward now, unfortunately, is probably like we had last year, 2 BAF waves a year, something like that. And this is just a gimmick to have something else in the packaging, really. I could display these in the collection. I don't mind. I could see actually me using these potentially. I could just stick them on the wall or something in the display, but I would much prefer a BAF. But
right.
I think unfortunately it's run its course, and the budgetary restraints are coming to the forefront now, and this is what it is.
Exactly. Jay, I'm curious, being the collector of probably 200 different types of toy lines, would you say that as a Marvel Legends collector community, we were just spoiled to getting Build-A-Figure pieces as an extra throw-in for so long, when it's not really a common thing outside of, we talked about this earlier, outside of Mattel's WWE line and Marvel Legends, and Toddy Mack will throw a Build-A-Figure wave every now and then, but outside of there, you don't really see this concept in any other lines, right?
No, it's just the fact you've been programmed to expect it for so long. Since like nearly 2002, we've had a Build-A-Figure concept. It's what the line was built on. So the fact that they're taking something away is, I don't know, maybe we're just used to it, I suppose. So it's a reaction to something we're used to being taken away. Whereas WWE is starting to come into that by recently, in the last couple of years, adding Build-A-Figures into the set, but they're not bigger characters. I suppose Hasbro was using a lot more plastic when it comes to Build-A-Figures, when they were actually giving us the big Build-A-Figures, where WWE, it tends to be a reuse of a suited body with just a different head. But and then the DC Multiverse have done it for a while, I suppose, but the Collect and Connect from the Mattel days as well. G.I. Joe have never done it. Star Wars have never done it yet. I suppose they did do a Build-A-Droid in the 3 3/4 inch many years ago, but yeah, we're just used to it, I think. So yeah, it's not nice having something taken away and then obviously having to pay more for the product anyway, so you feel like you're getting less. But they're just going to try and have to condition it out of us for a couple of years, and then hope we forget about it, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. In 3 years, we'll just forget about But Jay, that's a great point. Like, it's just how we've known the line, right? Like, it just seems synonymous with Marvel Legends to have a Build-A-Figure, right?
I think it was 2006 with Galactus, or 2005, maybe the first Build-A-Figure. So that's 20 years now, right?
Yeah,
it's a big boy.
Yeah,
It's a big Build-A-Figure. Yeah.
Right, and
so,
that the Sentinel, like, if we think of that, like, those are the first two Build-A-Figures we ever got,
yeah.
and they were the
They're
biggest
massive,
thing that
yeah.
we'd ever seen up until that point, being released as a toy, you know. And then that started the conversation of, well, is this really scaled right? Well, do we do like deluxes in the Marvel Universe line that scale even better than the Build-A-Figure? Then it's like, do we do a HasLab that scales even better? You know, so like it started the whole, it set the tone for the whole Marvel Legends like journey. And it is weird to feel it kind of slipping away and slipping through our fingers slowly. And like, instead of like saying we're just not going to do them anymore, it's like they're peeling them back from us a little more every year. And it's like, wow, like you absence makes the heart grow
we're
fonder.
toy addicts. We just need to go cold turkey potentially.
Right.
But they
right.
won't say it, will they? They keep
Don't
saying the
want me off.
Build-A-Figure's not dead, but
Yeah,
the Build-A-Figure kind of is dead.
It's like a little. They're just keeping out a little bit of hope, you know.
Yeah,
Just like
guys, the Lightning Collection isn't gone, right? It's not gone. They haven't announced anything, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, that's
there's still hope,
thriving.
right?
Yeah.
There's still hope. Still hope. It's off topic, but my Power Rangers, there's Power Rangers all over this room and the floor right now with me doing this new shelving, and I'm thinking about, while I'm building it, leaving a spot for like the potential Playmates Power Rangers that should be announced here soon. It's people have been talking, people that saw them at Toy Fair somewhere over in the UK, I think, right, Jay? I think it was somewhere.
Yes,
in the
it
UK.
was London. It was London Toy Fair, but
yeah,
none of us went because we didn't think there'd be particularly anything they would show that we could actually make use of. But it seems like there was Power Rangers hidden in there. I'm assuming more of the 4.5 to 5 inch and more retro looking, from the way it's been described.
I'm trying to see. Okay, so someone said they have a 5-inch figure line with great articulation. I assume, when I hear great articulation from Playmates, I assume maybe in the realm of the way the remastered Turtles were done.
Yeah.
And I don't really consider that great, but yeah, it's hopefully better than that. Some ankle movement would be nice. All of the original Rangers are included, along with lots of aliens and monsters. So I'm excited about that. Deep cut on like Rita's gang with like Babu and Squat that we missed out on. Do some other monsters that we were never going to get in Lightning Collection that I might be able to put like towards the back and like play with perspective or something. And what else? The Zords are sold separately, so I assume it's going to be like you have to buy like the 5 Zords to build the Megazord. Hopefully they do more than just the Dino Zord. We've gotten the Dino Zord with everything. Give us the Thunder Zord, the Ninja Zords, the Shogun Zords. That'd be cool. Because just because it's Mighty Morphin doesn't mean it's just that one Zord. They had 4 different Megazords throughout the 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin. And there is something said. There are also roleplay items. I don't care. Some recognizable aliens. Goldar, the Putty Patrol, Rita, Lord Zed, and a Skull General. I hear that. I think Rito right. Or Volto.
But it could be. Wasn't there a guy Bones with
what?
Like a pirate hat or something in the beginning?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully Rito, though. Rito was a favorite of mine.
A big-eyed creature, a Sphinx monster. Not excited about that because I hear that's King Sphinx. We already got him in Lightning Collection and Super 7. Yeah, I hope that's not Eye Guy. I think there was another big eye thing. I don't know.
I think one that looked like more like the Ninja Turtles, Tebigong.
I think so.
Or
yeah,
Belly Bong. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm making that up in my head or but I think
Probably.
so. Kenny's like, probably. Mantis monster, a plant monster, and they even have, this intrigues me, the end. They even have large figures too. So I wonder what that means. Like deluxe sets with
Like a 10
better
inch.
articulation, or bigger monsters to go along and fight the Zords, the Megazords that you build. Is
Or
what
is
that
it like the
might
Marvel Titan Heroes line where it's just 12-inch, literally
Yeah.
5 points of articulation thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
That
Yeah,
seems
you're right,
more
Jay.
likely. Yeah.
You're right, Jay. Jay just crushed my dreams. Thank you, Jay.
Sorry.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. But there's hope. There's hope for the future of Power Rangers anyway. That has nothing to do with today's topic, but that's I had to squeeze that in somewhere. But guys, at the end of the day, with Build-A-Figures rotating out, we can all agree if they're not gone this year, there might be a couple this year, but there's already one. There might be one more. I don't think there's going to be more than last year, unless it's off the back of maybe some MCU waves that were pushed back, maybe. But it appears that Build-A-Figure waves are unfortunately on their way out, moving to now we got the Maximum line coming out. They're doing more and more deluxes throughout the year. So there's good and bad. Like we said earlier, it's like 50-50 people that want Build-A-Figures, people that don't. At the end of the day, Hasbro doesn't care what you want. They care what their shareholders want. You got guys in the trenches fighting the good fight to get us, good figures and everything. But at the end of the day, they have to answer to their bosses. So it's weird. The comics are weird. Maybe we'll get some type of comic stand to put them in or something. That's cool. It'll be interesting to see if these go the way of working their ways into regular boxed figures. The main thing about this wave that throws me off is the card, because that I don't know, man. I don't know, but they're going either way, and there's nothing we can do about it, right, David?
Yeah, we have no control. They just let us think we do,
Yeah. John, take a shot every time someone says, I don't know. You'll be dead in an hour. Thank you, John. Thank you. And Dan Who's in the chat says Hellfire Hank is getting some new comics. Yeah.
All you UK boys were up for the wrestling, right? That's it.
It's crazy to me. It's like, Jay, you said it's almost 4 o'clock. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning now, right? So
it is just turned 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, Dan was with me in the chat through the night. So was Tanner. So was Jamie. So was Jared. So the wrestling keeps them up. They can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So.
If you've proven you'll stay up, then why are you not doing it for this show every week? Like
this can't be an every Saturday thing.
Now we know.
It's okay, Jay. It's okay.
It's very sorry.
It's
very sorry
staying up this late every Saturday in the UK would just, you'd be dead every Sunday morning, right, Jay?
It'll probably take me to about Thursday to recover from this evening. Usually, I'll fall asleep after all my running around after my daughter tomorrow, and then probably recover about Thursday. But then we're on a bit of a road trip to In-Demand Toys later in the week. I saw Dan was mentioning we might see some of those Marvel Legends comic figures in hand, hopefully at In-Demand Toys in the UK. So we'll put some coverage up if we do.
The mini comic figures?
Potentially, I do believe. What was it?
Oh,
From what Dan was saying in the chat, we don't know yet, but we will see.
Well, try to rip open the mini comic and read the comic.
Yeah.
See if you can get it to work. I mean, speaking of mini brands, and Jay, you brought this up, the mini brands thing, which is huge now for like the kids.
My daughter loves them. She's 10. She loves mini brands. Like
I buy the mini brand stuff, like the food stuff, like She-Hulk is carrying a Fruit Loops box. Like I buy that, and they have a books line that you can open, and like it's real books, and they have a magnifying glass packed in with it with the mini brands ball, and you can use the magnifying glass and read pages of this book. And so I don't know like how feasible that is, but maybe Legends needs to look into that at the very, like, you don't need to do the whole comic book, but do like 5 or 6 panels of pages, pages of panels, like that could be interesting. It's just more novelty and more just more.
Hey,
Something.
David, stop asking for stuff. You wonder why you have a segment of disappointing David on here, because
I did
the
it to
amount you
myself.
ask for, you're going to be disappointed every time.
I did it to
Every
myself.
time.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, Andrew, I did want to get your opinion on the whole Build-A-Figure thing, because you're exclusive Star Wars. How would you feel? For the most part, 90%.
Respect,
Call it 90% Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
80%. How would you feel if there was like a random Star Wars Build-A-Figure wave? What big character is missing in Star Wars that you would want to be the Build-A-Figure?
I don't know. It seems like they've covered basically everybody. I mean, there's like all the big characters they've covered. It seems like maybe some like niche character, like Clone 99. I would love that.
Gene Sky.
Gene's guy, yeah.
Gene's Guy, right? Oh, I don't know where is it? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Right there in the background.
Oh, geez.
Right
When
there.
you Gene's Guy,
They could,
build a figure in the
They-
Black Series.
they could
Oh,
do
yeah,
the Cantina Alien line, couldn't they? Like, we're struggling for Cantina Aliens in the Black Series, so we could have a
True.
Build-A-Figure Cantina Alien set. That would be nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Jay, you missed it earlier. We decided that the Jeans guy is going to be like spun off to his own series.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus, and it's going to
Yeah.
do better than the Acolyte,
Yep.
and it's going to be like the origin story of Denim
Yeah.
in the universe. That
Hey.
because this is set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
How Denim came to Earth.
They
You know,
go. They go to a
Jeans Guy
planet.
versus Ice Cream Machine.
Perfect.
They go to
Kenny,
a
you said
planet
planet.
rich in denim. It's called like Denim Min or something. We'll figure that part out later in post production probably, but it's fine. Yeah.
Somebody at Disney is taking notes right now for a new Disney Plus Star Wars show.
We're watching you. We've got this recorded. It's on record. I'm just saying.
Somewhat of
Allegedly.
record. But guys, that's it. We're about to get out of here. Jay, thank you so much for popping in, my friend. Staying up a little later. Just
mold in the camp. That's all I can say. Mold
A
in the
little
camp.
later. I mean,
Nice.
you're an hour away from making tea and just going on your day. You know what I mean? Like,
Jay, I don't care about letting these guys plug anything. They're links are in the description down below. But if anybody happens to be in this chat and hasn't heard of your channel, where can they go hit that subscribe button for all that great content?
You can find me on YouTube here at J's_Toy Collection UK for all things action figures, I suppose, from 12-inch, from Hot Toys to Mondo to Star Wars Black Series has recently just gone up on the channel. I've done the whole collection again, to the wrestling collection. There's far too many toys. There's far too many toys in this
Lego.
house. Yeah, Lego. Yes, Lego's
Lego, yeah.
infiltrated. So yes, if you want anything toys from my 22 years of collecting, then feel free to watch a video. There's plenty on there.
Jay just turned
Jay will-
23, so he's he's been collecting 22 years. Yeah.
Jay will show you how to spend some money. He will show you how to spend some money right there. Epic collection. Definitely check out that Lego room too. Those videos. That's epic, Jay. I can't do Legos. I can't get into it. Andrew does a little bit of Lego. I just can't, because it would get out of control.
It's under construction. I have a better half that can do the building for me. So she gives us something to do.
It's a partner in crime, right? And Mark showed up right here at the end. Mark, just go ahead and start from the beginning, my friend. It's okay. It's okay. We only went 2 hours, a little over 2 hours today.
A nice
But,
light affair, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Last week it was 4 hours, so we had to cut into
You're
it at least a
welcome.
little bit. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, everybody. But before we get out of here, we have to read out the channel members. Guys, do I have any takers?
Sure, why not? Here we are.
Yes, Kenny.
So let me go ahead and add 10 justified points to Kenny's total here real quick. There we go.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Let me hold on. I have to make my screen bigger.
Okay.
My eyes are.
While you do that, I
Oh,
can go ahead and do the first live readout of who's of the justified co-host
There you
points right now
There you
towards
go.
the prize that nobody knows. The season ends, we don't know when, but David is currently in the lead at 110 justified points.
Mm.
Wow.
is at 70.
Okay.
After I just added these 10, he just broke his tie with Andrew at 60, and Alexi's sitting there at 59. I don't know how valid all that is, but those are the points I have in my phone, and I set the rules. So
yeah. I mean, by my calculations, I have 73, but what I mean, it's whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Just went down to 69.
Shit.
69 is a great number, though. But
I'll take that. Yeah.
I'll stay at my 110.
Yeah. I'll just stay at 69. If you never want to award another point, I think I'll be okay.
69 trophy
Yes,
incoming.
Stepdaddy.
Yeah.
I don't know what filth I've walked in on here at 4:10 in the morning.
That's the problem. When this thing goes over 2 hours, everything else is off the rails. So like we're 17 minutes past good content. All right. I'm just saying that, you know.
John calls it when the show starts getting problematic.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. Let's talk about channel members. Okay. So here are your justified MVPs. These people have put themselves out there. They want to be recognized as the cream of the crop when it comes to the justified. As I've said before, probably against their better judgment, but yet they're here. So we go to the one, the only, the original member for this channel, Agent Z-Man, Z-Man 12 Bat. You've seen him, or maybe you haven't because he is a secret agent. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. Rick, Legion X, he's been on the channel along with Z-Man, but again, we don't talk about that because he is a secret agent. Rick's doing some cool things out there displaying. You've seen it. You love it. We do as well. John, the Don Juan, compulsive collector. Don't say I don't know around him because, again, some people have probably reached alcohol poisoning if they're playing that game. Don't play that game. Don't play that shot game when we say I don't know because, yeah, it's not responsible. John Morrissey, my best friend, hates Justin, verified. We've seen it in the comments. David, Evan, and Smith, he's here below me. Not below me. Below me.
Whoa.
He's
either
there.
way, he's down. Either way.
Whoa. Hang on. Wait, Stepdaddy, till we get off stream.
Anyway, okay. Moving along to the justified. Still good. We love you all. And by still good, I mean you're good. We love you. St. James, patron saint of action figures. James, when are you coming on again? All right. You've been here 1.5 times. We'd like to get you up to a full 2. So if you could come on for like another half portion of a stream, that would just round that out. We would like it. Dan, who reviews, never heard of her. Christopher Allen, everybody's favorite. We love you. He was here. I'm going to give him my little mini comic books. Now I feel good about that. Displayed once. Yeah. Display it once. Display it twice. It's up to you. Rich, we love you. Kurt K, my friend, my secret Santa recipient, even though some people in some countries don't like to talk about that. I know. Jesse Hubbard. Oh, Encounter Culture. Cool guy. You guys should check out that channel. I'm just saying, it's just if you want to. No pressure. Shane Shooter. Shane, my guy. I don't know. I think you're a fan of. You're on the Justified, so that makes sense. Brian Merchant, bring toys to work. Michael, looking forward to getting many GI Joes this year. You guys had a good day for GI Joes, right? Like, so I'm looking forward to the pickups there. And also, Michael, you collect a lot of Legions, and I think you have a good year. An expensive year. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's going to be expensive. You got a lot of GI Joes and Legions coming your way. Darth Lopez, Frankie, who's like? All right,
we don't know.
Side note, guys, Frankie and Kyle, like, don't worry, Puck photos. I'm not skipping you. I'm just taking a break here. Frankie and Kyle, like, it just seems interesting to me when people are just on YouTube and there's just like Kyle. You know, I don't know.
Like Cher, it's like Madonna.
Yeah, no,
you
I
need.
think that's why I like it. It's like a element of mystery, right?
It's the only one.
Yeah, and then Frankie didn't even give himself a capital F. He's just like all lowercase, like Frankie. It's a choice.
Do you feel better about Kurt K because he uses his last initial at least?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do. Yeah. It like there's like an extra element of trust there, you know. I don't know.
Well,
I
like
don't know.
you can Google search John Morrissey, but you can't Google search Kyle.
Yeah.
You know? I get
Yeah, like there's like 10 million Kyles, you know.
Yeah.
Like, one of my best friends is Kyle. I
have
don't
a cousin named
think
Kyle,
it's that
comic
guy,
book
but
artist.
I don't
Kyle
know.
Baker, comic book artist.
Could be, you know. So that's why it's so mysterious. So just saying. Pock Photos, like what you're doing out there. Thank you for being here. Ravenous Collecting. Again, as I've said before, I like that Raven is in your name. I'm from Baltimore. The Raven is ever present. Edgar Allan Poe, etc., etc. Raven, Ravenous. I like it. Literally Action Figs, still working on getting that challenge set up between you and Figurative Collecting or Figurative Action Figure, whoever. There's probably multiple options, but I'm still working on that fight. Chris Murphy, that one always tricks us up, right? We don't know.
Yep.
Murphy, we get it. We love you. And Cole's Cave, big fan of the work. Love what you're doing out there. Keep up the great work with the photography. If you guys aren't following Cole's Cave on Instagram, make sure that you are. He's just doing a bang up job. So love it. Guys.
I noticed Jay's Toy Collection UK is not on this list. So
yeah.
Jay,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like
I was on there last week. I must have
He was.
vanished.
He was.
That was a
Mm.
gifted membership that
scroll
like
off.
expired. So you might want to re-up, you know?
Noted. Duly noted.
David's always trying to start the beef, Jade. Just ignore.
Where's your
Ignore
boys
him.
got toys on that list?
Oh.
That's a good point.
Ryanson.
Also, your girls got Legos is not on the. Okay, I see what happened here. They both have dipped out on us.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Jay's like, okay, maybe deal with in-house trouble before throwing stones. Okay, that's what Jay's saying here. Okay, guys, thank you everybody so much. Thank you, Andrew. I know you felt like crap. He's dying on stream and he's still here. Everybody, okay. Yeah. Jay, thank you for jumping in, bud. We'll have to have you back on at some point. David, thank you for just always being you, my friend. Always being you. And Kenny, thank you for. I think Dan says it perfect. Best voice on YouTube, my friend. Best voice on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody watching, whether you're here live or on the replay. Before you head out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be here next week, okay? We'll be here next week. We're here every week. At what time, David? What time?
8:45 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
Saturdays.
That's right. Until then, appreciate you guys.